Hey, Happy New Year and welcome to another episode of MLM Renegade. I'm really excited about this one. Guys, setting goals is the single greatest thing that you can do for yourself to start the new year, and we're going to talk about it. So here's the million-dollar question. How are network marketers like us, who've tried everything their upline ever suggested to be successful, and yet still struggled, who grew up with technology and aren't stuck in the 20th century, how are we supposed to grow our downlines and our bank accounts and yet still have time for real life? My name is J.R. McKee. Join me as we explore how to use 21st century learning and technology to grow our downlines and build lasting wealth. Simply put, this is MLM done different. Welcome to MLM Renegade. Welcome. Hey, you guys, I'm really excited about this. I spent a fair bit of time here over the past couple of days actually kind of finalizing my 2019 goals. And I'm going to talk about them, and I'm actually going to share some of them with you because I believe in being held accountable. And the best and easiest way that I have found to do that is to throw it out there to other people, because then they expect things of you. And when somebody expects something of you, guess what? You're more likely to actually get it done. So, a year ago, this worked for me. I had my wife and I were working hard to achieve a goal. We wanted to earn this trip to South Africa, and maybe I've talked about it with you a little bit before, but this trip was a big deal. We actually made it a bigger deal by adding a few extra days in Botswana, which was just amazing. But we set it out there that we were going to make it, and here it was, New Year's Eve, and we still had a little ways to go. And I had reached out to people. I had done things to engage with people. And about 11 p.m. on New Year's Eve, right before we rang in the new year for starting the 2018, we hit that goal. And still, to this day, one of my favorite things that we've done. And I was remembering that last night as we were ringing in the new year with our kids. And, it was awesome. But I sat down this morning and finalized these goals that I've made for myself for 2019. And I want to share a couple of them with you. So, last year I actually set a goal to climb a couple of mountain peaks here in Utah, and I missed it. Yeah, it happens, guys. Believe it or not, we're human even when we record ourselves. And so those two mountains are Lone Peak and Mount Timpanogos. They're two of the taller peaks here that actually overlook the Salt Lake and Utah valleys. And so that's a holdover. I'm going to do that this year. One of my goals is I want to go on vacation with my family. Our 18-year-old is going to be leaving the house here next summer, and so we want to take that. One of the big goals that you guys are going to be able to hold me accountable to is I want to make daily Facebook posts, both on my personal page as well as on the MLM Renegade. That's facebook.com/MLM done different. And you can check those out and come and follow me on Facebook as well, and you can see what I'm doing there. And I'm also going to do for that those daily posts. That's on my personal page, but I'm also planning on doing 2 Facebook Lives each week. Something expanding my horizons and give me a great opportunity to talk a little bit more about the podcast and to see. And to see me as I get really passionate about some of these things that I'm talking about. Today it was kind of cool. I'm actually taking part in this challenge. It's called the Stoic Challenge. Ryan Holiday, who wrote "The Obstacle Is the Way," he has this challenge going, and so I decided to join it. And it talks about the very first thing that he wanted us to do was actually take everything that made us angry, that we did wrong, that we were still beating ourselves up for in 2018, and write it all down. And I spent some time this morning doing that. And then after I wrote it all down, I burned it. And it was cathartic, let me tell you. Being able to see that thing go up in flames and just understand how, I needed to... how I need to let go, without breaking out in song for Disney show tunes. That really is an important piece to it all. So, I have some financial goals. I don't need to share those with you, but I do have them, and I set them with intention because if you're not setting those goals with intention, you're really missing out. In fact, I subscribe to a methodology of goal setting. It's called SMART, although I've tweaked it. And you've probably heard of SMART goal setting before. It's an acronym. The S is for specific, because if you're not specific, it's really tough to attain something that you're not specifically aiming for. It's easy to hit nothing when you're not willing to fire the bullet, and if you're specific, you're giving yourself an opportunity to be successful there. M is measurable. Now, I've learned in my sales career what measures matters. And there's no place more that this comes true than when talking about goals. Because if you can't measure it, how do you know that you actually got there, right? If you're running a marathon, it's 26.2 miles, and those 0.2 are important. It's measured, and you need to get through there. Now, A is action-oriented. Okay, this is where I depart a little bit from the standard version. Somebody would say attainable. Let me tell you why I don't choose to use attainable. Attainable helps you underachieve. Let me say that again. Trying to set a goal that is attainable helps you underachieve. Okay, if you're setting an action-oriented goal, that is a goal that you're going to have to get up and work at. And when you do that every single day, you can achieve so much more than what you can simply see as attainable from right now. Okay, if I'm, I've talked about I want to go climb those mountains, right? If I'm sitting from the valley floor here in Salt Lake City and looking at the top of Mount Timpanogos that reaches to over 11,000 feet tall, I've said it before, I am not worthy of that peak from where I currently sit. And that the journey to get there actually is what makes me worthy of it. Now, if you're going to set goals that need to be achievable, how are you going to know if you can achieve something more? How are you going to stretch yourself and grow beyond what's there for you? And so that's where action-oriented comes in. Action-oriented, that's taking the first step, right? What's that old Chinese proverb? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, right? That's the point. You need to get out there and get in action. Massive action creates massive results. I've seen that in my network marketing business. I've seen that on my day job. I've seen that with my life, with spending time on my bicycle. Last June I rode a 140-mile cancer ride with the Huntsman Cancer Institute. Okay, it was for charity. I actually rode for my mother-in-law, Karen Gailey, as well as my grandmother, Alita Hillman, who both, sadly, we lost to breast cancer. And because of that, I was able to go out there and push myself beyond the limits, really, of what I should have done. In fact, one of my neighbors brought it up to me. He's like, dude, how did you do that? I didn't see you ever put in a ride longer than 25 miles, and yet you go out and bust out this 140-mile ride in a single day. And I told him basically that it was really stupid, that I should have trained more, to be perfectly frank. But, 10 hours on my bicycle saddle as I rode all this mileage, I learned a lot of things about myself and about what truly is attainable. And let me tell you, I wouldn't have listed that ride as attainable, but because I was action-oriented and willing to go out and put in the work, I hit it. Now, R is relevant, okay? There's no point in doing something that doesn't advance your goals or your designs, right? If I'm setting a goal that I want to ride 100 miles this week, okay, that's fantastic. That can help me with my goal to be more physically fit, right? It needs to be something relevant. Okay, if you're going to go out there and set a goal, like, oh, I want to watch the newest episode of Game of Thrones or whatever television show is out there, why is that a goal? I mean, is it really relevant to bettering your life? Is that going to help you? I doubt it. Okay, make it relevant, because when it's relevant, it's going to be meaningful. And when it's meaningful, it's going to give you some lasting joy, frankly, in the achievement of it. And the last one, T, is time-bound. You got to have a deadline. Stephen Larson, who I love listening to on Sales Funnel Radio or Secret MLM Hacks Radio, Both of them are both of those shows are phenomenal, and he gives so much value. But it's funny. He actually came out with an episode the other day and said, "Hey, you know what? You know how I get so much done in such a short period of time?" And he literally gives himself no time to get some things done because he literally sets a deadline. Says, "Okay, at 2:00 this afternoon, we're going to have this funnel live that you're going to be able to sign up with something." As of 11 a.m., he hadn't created the thing yet. Okay, when you set up deadlines, you give yourself the proper motivation and incentive to not make yourself a liar. When you set up deadlines, you give yourself a true finish line. Okay? Some people are, I have a neighbor who spoke this weekend at church, actually. She talked about running marathons and how she needed to get out of her comfort zone, and that the last 6 miles or so could be a major impediment. But she saw the finish line, and her friends and her family members were there who loved her and were waiting for her to cheer her on. The finish line helps us to understand where we can see growth, and setting those deadlines that are relevant and important to you, that's going to make all the things. So again, SMART is specific, measurable, action-oriented, relevant, and time-bound. Now, Brian Tracy actually came out with kind of a comparison of those who set goals and those who don't set goals. Somebody who sets goals has a sense of purpose, where someone who doesn't is unsure of their life's purpose. Somebody who sets goals has an exact plan for achieving success. They plan. Okay, if you fail to plan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now, when you don't, and somebody who doesn't set goals does not have a plan for success, and they get stalled. They get distracted. They get. I talked about shiny object syndrome. That gets kicked in when you don't have a fixed goal in mind. Now, somebody who sets goals uses the time to the best of their ability and sticks to the plan. But somebody who doesn't, they don't know what they spend their time on to achieve success, or what they need to spend their time on to achieve success. Now, I have a planner on my desk that actually breaks down the day into 30-minute blocks. And let me tell you, the days that I can sit down and map out down to a 30-minute block from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. what's going on in my life. It's amazing the things that I can get done because I'm cognizant of how I'm spending my time. Now, people who set goals don't procrastinate on doing the important tasks to advance their goals. They knock out the most important thing first. Okay, one of the books I read, one of my goals last year was to read 52 books. I'm proud to say I hit number 52 late last night, right before the clock chimed midnight. And one of the books I read was called The One Thing. And The One Thing was all about doing that one thing that's going to make a lot of other tasks irrelevant or take care of them for you. And so that's big. People who don't set goals, they stay stagnant in their pursuit of success. They don't move forward. Now, people who set goals, they fulfill desires, and then they set new goals. And then they become successful. Right? People who set goals are people who are successful. And I think we're all here because we desire success, and we desire that opportunity to grow as we set and achieve those goals. Now, so some of my business goals for 2019, I'm going to reach out to people daily as I grow my business. I'm going to attend my events monthly. Getting to those events, it helps to reinforce my belief and helped me to grow personally. For this podcast and everything around it, I'm gonna publish once or twice a week. So get used to hearing me, guys. I'm looking forward to it. I want to make it a little bit more than I want to definitely get to episode 100 before the end of the summer. Okay, I just set that. So today's episode 10. That means 90 more by Labor Day. So I've got some work to do, and that's good. I've just drawn my line in the sand. So stay tuned. Now, I'm also, like I said, I'm going to be doing 2 Facebook Lives each week on the Facebook page. Again, that's MLM Done Different. I am actually here by the end of January. You guys can look forward to seeing a live webinar for the 21st Century Recruiting course. I'm excited about that. I've actually been mapping out some of the different modules that are going to be involved there. And basically, if you can think of it that it involves social media, internet marketing, and network marketing, guess what? It's going to be in there. And then I'm going to create, I'm going to create and publish that program. It is going to the first people who hop in are definitely going to get the early adopters bonus discount there, but also some other bonuses along with it. So one of those bonuses, in fact, I want to offer this out to everybody right now. One of those bonuses is going to be the 10 mistakes in network marketing that I've made that I don't want you to make again. I've actually created this. It's a PDF document. And I have a copy of it, and I'd love to share it with you. And I'm going to make that available on the Facebook page. Again, facebook.com/MLMDoneDifferent. And you can go there to get it, or shoot me an email, jr@mlmrenegade.com. I'll also shortly have up a page where you can get that directly just to be downloaded. So, you guys, I'm really excited about the things coming in 2019. We have the 21st Century Recruiting Kickstarter that is available. You can go to podcast.mlmrenegade.com to grab that. And then we have the 21st Century Recruiting Program that's going to be launching here in the coming weeks. And I'm really excited about that because it will be able to document how I'm growing my business and help you to grow yours. Again, I'm not here to recruit you. I'm very, I try and make this very agnostic. I'm a big fan of the company that I'm with. And, but I know that everybody has a different reason for being a part of their network marketing company. And really, I love the business model because of the freedom and that it can give. Coming up this year, we're going to have some awesome interviews coming on. If you guys have seen The Game of Networking, its founder Rob Sperry has agreed to be a guest here, so he'll be coming on soon, and I'm looking forward to that. You guys, I want you to have a happy New Year. Please go out, take time, set some goals with intention. Set those goals so that you can achieve something better than you ever would have thought possible in this year. Have a great day. Hey, thanks for listening, and please remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Now, if you'd like some free training for your team, go to podcast.mlmrenegade.com and get your free 21st Century Recruiting Kickstarter.